everybody, Martin here, back with some Legacy again. I'm sorry I've been absent these past few weeks. I think I needed to take a little bit of a break from Magic. Become a little bit disillusioned. And then you know what? I've actually gone and done it. What I've talked about for the better part of like 2 years, I've actually gone and splashed for some Rishadan ports because, of course, they need to be that expensive. But I actually ended up like trading off a lot of the show and tell cards. They're really expensive too for some reason, like Bristlebrand's show and tells and stuff. So I ended up having a fairly minimal, uh, cash out of pocket sort of experience. This means I get to play Death and Taxes, which is awesome, and it's something I've really enjoyed doing in paper a lot. I've had some decent results. I've top 8'd the Danish Legacy Masters at one point, which is like a 90 to 100 person tournament. 6-0'd a really awesome side event at, well, awesome because I 6-0'd at a GP Prague this year. And that was with Arbiter Taxes, which I've named this deck. If you want to go back to at least where I saw it the first time, you need to check out Wenzel Kaufmann's, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, top 8 list from Bazaar of Mox in 2014 in Annecy. And basically this is Death and Taxes, but with the additional taxing effects of shuffle taxes or search taxes of Leonin and Arbiter and Aven Mind Sensor. This means we get to run 4 Ghost Quarters in addition to the Wastelands and the Rishadan board, so really brutalizing mana bases here. It also means we have somewhat of a more vulnerable mana base ourselves. I've shaved from 25 down to 24 lands. Wenzel ran 25. And it really shows in some... You're mulliganing quite a bit more because you have fewer white sources. But there's that. Basically, this version of the deck, I think, improves the Delver matchup because you're now running an effective 8 strip mines with the 4 Ghost Quarter, 4 Wastelands. And I'm running 2 Path to Exile on the sideboard to bring up to 6 Swords to Plowshare effects against Delver, or against any deck without basics, basically. Elves becomes a slightly better matchup, or a less bad matchup, because the search effects actually do something against them. Whereas our normal combo hate, like Thalia, doesn't really do anything against elves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only awkward thing here is, of course, that we're running search effects in Stoneforge Mystic, and Leonin Arbiter is a symmetrical effect. So that is going to be like my #1 priority here, is to not get caught casting a Stoneforge Mystic without paying 2 with the Arbiter. But this is a really fun deck to play competitively. It is a pretty horrible experience for a lot of opponents. I played a modern GP with this deck a year ago or so, a year and a half ago, because this deck can also be built somewhat competitively in modern, and I think out of 15 rounds, like, I'm going to be generous to my opponents and say about 10 of my opponents, just like with an Arbiter in play or an Aven Mind Sensor in play, cracked a fetch and just picked up their deck, you know? So this is not a very nice deck to bring to like your local game store for or a friend's place to grind out some legacy and have some fun, because this really rewards knowing the minutia of the rules interactions. And if you really want to be playing this deck, I think you need to be more of a stickler with it than I am. I'm terrible at rules lawyering people. I feel like I should be doing it, but I don't do it enough. And like this day 2 at that GP, like I had people picking up their decks, starting to search, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, what? No. And then, you know, some people will try to be all like, well, then I'll pay. And, you know, you can't. You pay with the fetch land ability on the stack, but as soon as both players pass priority with the fetch land on the stack, that ability resolves. And if you haven't paid, then you just don't get to search. And now that ability is no longer in the stack, so yeah, you get my point. Alright, anyways, onto the sideboard. We have some anti-graveyard hate in Rest in Peace and Very Macabre, and some Containment Priest stuff going on here. We've got these 3 cards for the anti-miracle stuff. It's pretty close to normal Death and Taxes. So anyways, I just see now that my queue for the first league match is up, so let's go do that.